Perfect.
Here we are.
Voila.
So just my team, raise their hands please, so everyone knows who was on that team. Okay, thank you very much. So I think we had an excellent discussion on what does it mean to be on a high-performing team. The first question was about what do we actually mean by project teams as opposed to line management teams? Because probably there is a difference. And the answer was yes, there is a difference because people come together from different backgrounds, different functions, different multicultural backgrounds probably also, and they now are tasked to come together and really achieve a common objective. That is very different to a line management team which has been working together in most cases for many, many years and doesn't have to go through different phases. Then the next discussion point was what do we actually mean by a high-performing team? So we captured some ideas, among which were if the team is performing, so that means it's delivering what is expected from it. Well, that's rather obvious. But the not so obvious answer was the team has fun. The team is not blaming each other. There is a certain way of how to resolve conflict. There's a lot of good communication within the team. They sometimes go out and have a drink together, and so on and so on. There was a long list of what a high-performing team is all about. And how can we observe, that was the other question, if you come to a team and you state that this is not a high-performing team? Well, it's not exactly the opposite, but if there is lack of communication, so the people do not talk to each other, or if they just shout to each other, the way they never resolve a conflict, blaming is a good indicator for a poor performing team, and so on. So we try to clarify that a little bit. And then we went in the discussion through the different team phases. The team comes together for the first time. They don't know each other, so there is a phase of getting to know each other, requiring a lot of communication. And then when they get to know each other, when they have gotten to know each other, then they need to establish trust among each other, which turned out to be a crucial word in our discussion. Trust. Trust among the team members, but also trust between the team leader, the project leader, and the team members. And once you are at that stage, then comes the performing part where you deliver, but delivering means you also enter into a lot of conflicts. So there are elements you need to know on both sides, the project leader side as well as the team member side, of how to resolve conflicts. And finally, to discuss the ramp down phase when the project comes to an end and usually the best people start leaving without informing the project leader and therefore creating a problem for the project leader. So how can we ensure there that we have a high-performing team? And we said, well, it has to do something with the feeling of safety, the feeling of being taken care of from the side of the company, which makes people stay in a project and makes them not go away. So we captured a lot of different items and we put them together in a structure which I kind of introduced to the team. So that green structure here is something I contributed to the team. But then the answer of the team were allocated to the various areas of that structure. And that structure has been invented by a company called Gallup in the United States. And if you want to learn more about it, you just need to go to the internet and check for Gallup. And what Gallup says is there are 4 different levels. The first level is called get, the second give, the third one belong, and the top one is grow. So to have really a performing team, you first of all need to go through that stage. People need to receive something to even be able to contribute to a project. Things like computers, desks, telephones, roles and responsibilities, objectives. They need a lot of things to be given to them in the beginning in order to be able to kick off and to start. And only then, in the next step here, or next layer, they will be able to give back. There is a willingness to communicate, there is a willingness to feed back to other team members, and when that stage is achieved, they can move on to the next layer, which is called belong, where a feeling of belonging to the same team evolves. And you need that feeling of belonging to the team or to the company to generate that feeling of being in a safe haven. That is particularly important for project teams, because when people leave their normal home functions, their normal departments, and go to a new territory, they're always afraid to lose out compared to the guys who stayed in the home function. And when years later or months later they come back and they don't find a good job, then they are really worried and they don't go so easily to another project again. So having that layer here belong is a lot of work from the team members, the company, the project manager to achieve that. It requires social network, it requires recognition, it requires the build-up of trust in the team, and it requires a lot of communication between the team members. And the last step, and this is really the step or the layer which is called grow, where you really get a high-performing team, is when these team members can grow in their career, in their qualification, at the same time while they do their project management job. So this is about the company, the project leader, taking personal care of the career development of individuals in that team. They have the possibility to do whatever they think is right as team members. They have a high degree of freedom, so there's delegation to them, there is trust to them. Again, a lot of communication, and they have the possibility to qualify themselves. So some of the people here, or in fact everyone I guess, coming from a project and staying here today in this event and tomorrow, this is part of the growing element. So here is the structure from our team. Thanks a lot to the team. You were great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. To Peter.